fear is a good thing. It's something that as a human protects us.
We need it, yes.
Yes, we do need it, and it's good. We're supposed to have it, but in a way that doesn't stop us from trying. There are going to be bumps in the road. There are going to be hard challenges. There are going to be scary things, but don't think about the next kilometer. Think about the next step. Can you take one more step?
Can you walk for 1 minute? That's very powerful. Courtney McQueen is an ultra-marathon runner and co-founder of Run Like a Girl Adventures, dedicated to creating empowering outdoor experiences that challenge, inspire, and help people grow, guided by their motto, all people, all paces. Every human has patterns of thinking that can lead us feeling down.
I had gotten myself into that negative space because I was comparing my own self to something that I had done in the past. My whole world had kind of fallen apart.
Even when things get hard, even when things are difficult, just breathe through it, keep going, one step at a time. And then that builds confidence of belief, like I am the one who can get through things.
What a lot of people might be missing is...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pause to Elevate with Dr. Kasim Al-Mashat. I am super excited to share today's conversation with an incredible human being. My guest is Courtney McQueen, one of the co-founders and current owner and director of Run Like a Girl Adventures, which is such a great name, and we'll talk about it. She's an ultra marathon runner, mom of two, published co-author, co-founder of Be Aware, her guide to getting outside, and co-owner of Heads or Trails events, and a certified outdoor guide. You probably can get a sense already of how she's such a devoted outdoor enthusiast with 18 years of experience in the running and mountain community. I actually had the pleasure of completing a number of her events. One of them was actually a couple of days ago. And here it is. If you're on YouTube, yay, I finished one of the events, Be Fearless, which was amazing. So if you haven't met Courtney before, friends, get ready, as she has a huge heart, huge passion to encourage people and support them. Join us today to learn the mindset of an ultra runner, breaking barriers, and maybe to be surprised of what you are capable of. But first, Courtney, a warm welcome to you to Pause to Elevate podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for joining us. You are such a bubble of positive energy, like having a chance to meet you in person, just every time just leave feeling uplifted. So I just want to, before we really get into all the questions I want to ask you, I just want to thank you for who you are and for how you are with people, truly. So
Thank
thank you.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that so much. Just to hear that from somebody else. Um, I think that it's uh, it's something that I hope to share with everybody. So the fact that you're saying that back to me makes me feel really good. Thank you.
It is my pleasure. It is so true. And you're so humble too, which is quite amazing. So really thank you for how you are and make people feel good. So
Yeah.
I want to start with this something that made me really stop and think, which is one of the mission that you have, which is so beautiful, is to help people feel unscared.
Yes.
Unscared. So unscare people. So
Yeah.
can you share a little bit about that? What does unscaring people mean to you? And tell us about that.
Yes. Okay. Well, I feel like, and over many years of my experience, running the trails, doing ultra marathons, and obviously, all the work that I do with Run Like a Girl,
Mhm.
it's my mission to help people start. And
Mm,
I think, like, initially it's like, get started in running. We can just think of running. Of course, that's, associated with the work that I do.
yes.
But it just in general, like anything, just to get started. And um,
Mm,
I know we'll probably talk about it more today. Um, but I think, like, my ability to just, like, jump into something or to move forward and take action without letting the fear of what could happen, or like the negative space of, what could happen if I, go and try this new thing, or start this new thing. um,
mm,
I don't let that stop me. And um, I've had the most amazing experiences over, throughout my life so far. And it's just part of my mission to really help people also experience that,
Mm,
to live their fullest life and their fullest self, and like just get as much from life as we can. And I think when we are doing that, we
mm.
are then, making the world a better place.
Yeah. It's time for a quick little update. A few months ago, 2.5% of you who are watching this content were subscribed to this channel. I'm so grateful to you. You helped us move it to 20%. However, if we do the math, that still leaves us 80% of you have not subscribed. Please help me change that. Go ahead and press that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the content. Well, clearly you've done it yourself. So that's why you're able to do that, support others to unscare them and take a step towards something that maybe is new. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be running, like you said. Anything new, it can be scary because we
yeah,
don't know what's going to happen. And
yeah.
so,
Well,
so, mm,
well, sorry, I was gonna say, I like to talk about it in a way like fear is a good thing. I know the event that you just completed, which is one of ours, is called Be Fearless, but
mhm,
really, and what it means is be fearless in the pursuit to start, like be fearless in the pursuit to
mm,
show up. Um, Fear is a good thing, and I talk about it, or I can talk more about it in the way like, I head out into the trails by myself all the time, and I am scared sometimes when I'm out there.
mhm,
And sometimes I know like a particular place that I'm going, I will, feel nervous about it. So like fear is a good thing. It's something that as a human protects us.
we need it. Yes.
Yes, we do need it, and it's good. We're supposed to have it. But in a way that doesn't stop us from trying, I think is the
Mm,
right sort of way to think about it. And that's what I'm interested in. Like just
mm.
in continuing, what I do and my purpose and the work that I'm doing.
Hmm. There's something about as you're saying it, like honoring the fear, like
Yeah.
feel the fear
Yeah.
and just do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
feel the fear and do it. Like, and you're not saying we're doing something reckless.
Right.
No, but we're gonna be afraid of doing something, including even whatever it might be. It might be a project. It might be entering a relationship. It might. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
Business. Oh, I don't know how it's gonna go. Well, no one really knows how it's gonna go. It's like
Right.
we
Yeah.
gotta take a step to see how it goes.
Yeah, life is scary, right?
Yeah.
And full of challenges. And I think it's just about knowing that these things are going to come. Like there are going to be bumps in the road, like there are going to be
Mm,
hard challenges, there are going to be scary things. Um, but building a piece of confidence within ourselves to like move forward through it. Like we
mm,
know it's going to be scary, but we're capable of making it through. Um,
mm.
yeah.
Can you think of one for you? You connected with that ability, like there's something in you that you felt it yourself, so you probably wanted more of it, and then you helping others do that. Like, how did that start for you? Early
Yeah,
experiences of
yeah,
working with fear like that.
yeah. I can go I can go like way, way back to when I was much younger.
Mm,
To like I feel like there's many, many pieces for me that come into it, like experiences that I had when I was a kid, my love for the outdoors, and like all these things kind of intertwine.
mm,
Um, but I think for me, there was a key moment, and I think about it sometimes, but I was probably about 18. I know I had graduated high school,
mm,
and I don't know what brought it on, but there was a moment in time where I thought to myself, like and part of it was like a feeling as well,
mm,
that I don't like, I want to be the player in the game. So I grew up playing soccer and like different sports.
mm,
There was a period of time where I was no longer playing soccer as we switched from like youth to then you move into like the adult age, right? So you'd have to move into
mhm,
like a women's league. So I wasn't playing, and I just had this like moment where I just made the decision, like I want to play. I don't want to be on the sideline. I don't want to be like a spectator. I want to participate.
mm,
And also, like maybe all in that same moment, did I say like to the greater universe, like I am here, like I am prepared. I open it up to all the
Mm.
things you want to throw at me. Like I'm just, I want to participate in life.
Wow.
Um, and I think probably for not like many people, or maybe, for some, something like that comes like later, like later on in age. I was like 18 at the time that I had this
Mm.
experience, maybe being in between things. Like I didn't go straight to university. Like it's just an odd time of life where you just don't know what's coming.
Mm.
So I go back to I go back to that, and I think like for me, just in everything that I've done and experienced in my life, it's because I've like opened myself up to it, the good, the bad, like just I'm here to experience it.
Mm.
Um, and sorry, now I'm even just trying to circle back to like what your original question was, but yeah, that was a moment for me that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's something about like being fully in something. Like you made some decision
yeah,
of, you know what, I don't want to be just sidelines. Like, and that takes courage to go. I'm stepping in both feet into something, and I want to play the game.
yeah,
And it's I love the metaphor as a metaphor too, because you're playing the game of life. Like what you've created with community and a movement, like you are playing. You're not on the sidelines. Like
yeah.
Courtney is not in the sidelines. Like
No, we're not.
she's
We're not.
she's full on.
Yeah,
I mean, it takes business leadership. It takes like you're doing so much,
yeah,
which is quite amazing actually. So I'm interested in that mindset too.
yeah,
Maybe we'll roll back to that in a
yeah.
moment. So here you are, 18. You realize you want to made a decision. You want to actually participate, not just be on sidelines. And then you start falling in love with running, or how did that evolve?
Yeah, and I mean, this is funny too. We go back like, and it probably would have been like a year or two even before that. I remember, again, like I said, I played soccer since I was little, soccer,
Mhm.
baseball, a bunch of sports. I remember being on the field uh, at one point in one of my soccer games, thinking to myself, "Wow, like a full soccer game is 90 minutes. I've been on this field for 90 minutes and I haven't stopped moving. I just ran for 90 minutes straight."
Yeah.
Like, and like that, like that's a core memory that I have. Like that came to my mind, being like, "Whoa, like that's a long time." And I don't think I like nothing really came of that at that time, but it just became a piece. So graduating high school, um, I was working at a retail store, like just kind of doing the things. Not I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to go to school for.
Mm,
Um, a lot of kids in my grade like went off to college and they knew what I want to be this and I want to do that and like off they went and I
yeah,
felt very like just kind of floating. I don't know, it was a weird feeling like I just didn't know. And
yeah.
so I had to go into a space where it was like, what do I love to do?
Mm,
What can I go and do? So for me at that time, like, oh, sports and art. I was
yeah.
I was very into like art class and creating and that type of thing. So I discovered that that was something I could study at school. So I went and to university to study fine arts.
Mm,
Um, and so I studied fine arts and art history. And then again, like you're asking me about the running, it was all, sort of all these things sort of shifting at one time. And
mm,
um, gosh, how did I discover? So soccer ended. I didn't, I think, feel the drive to go and find a women's league. Um, I was in my mind always very competitive, and I think this plays back into the thing. What we were
mm,
just talking about was ideally I would have been an athlete. Like that probably would have been
mm.
something that I would have chosen. Like my dream was to be like a professional athlete.
Professional, yeah.
That would have been like that's how passionate I was about the sport. And so taking like, that didn't work out for me, but taking that and then applying it into like the different avenues. Like so,
Mm,
art and then the running came from I think having some like open free space during that sort
mm.
of transition. Like, okay,
Yeah,
I don't have to get up to go to school. I have a job, but and then also like, college hours are like classes are different. Um yeah, so I just started like going for runs. And my runs, again, like, I'm like, let's go way back before like the fancy running watches and stuff. I didn't have a
Right.
watch. I didn't take a watch, check the clock before I left, maybe. Like, it didn't matter. There was
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, didn't keep track,
yeah,
of your heart rate and
that's
your
right. And it was
kilometers and pace and all that.
and it wasn't the purpose. I just was like going out to run because I
Yeah.
enjoyed it, right? And always sticking back to that, like, wow, I've just run for 90 minutes during this whole like this game, right? So I had this foundation for movement. And yeah, and
Mm.
my runs just kind of turned into like, I'd go for like 2 hours just like running around, like, on sidewalks and streets in the neighborhood. Like, I would just go and run. Um, and my manager at the time at the retail job that I had, she was an Ironman athlete. And so just through conversation with her, she had said to me, wow, like, you run for 2 hours? I'm like, yeah, like, I don't know, just go like for a run for a couple
Yeah.
hours. And she was like, you could run a half marathon. Like, if you could run for 2 hours, you could run. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, how many kilometers that is? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
which
didn't
is
know how many kilometers I was running. I would just
yeah.
go and run just because I liked it. Um, and so from there, it kind of grew. And, I was at the
Mm.
gym one day and there was like a pamphlet on the front desk that was for like, I think it was like the Scotiabank half marathon.
Oh, yeah, in the summer, it used to be called Scotiabank, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Like,
June one, yeah.
2009, like, we can go
Yeah.
way back. That's so I don't know, I just signed up for it. And like, again, no proper train, like, my training was me just going for runs. And anyway, so
Yeah.
like all these little things kind of, I think, just planted like little seeds. And
Mm.
I went, and I think, again, I can, say I'm really grateful. I never, at this point in my life, never had anyone tell me that I couldn't do something. I know that
Uh,
is when we have external limitations, or external voices or people telling us
yeah.
that we can't do something, that can be quite impactful. But for me, I came from a really supportive family. And yeah, I just, I had that piece. So I signed up and went and did it. And you know kind of carried on from there.
Mm.
And yeah, so again, I'm sorry, I forget what your initial question was, but that's sort of the timeline for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is so interesting, it's so hard for us to imagine the future when we don't know what's going to happen. But when you look back, you can kind of connect the dots. Like, wait a minute, I did this first, and you just followed what you're
yeah,
interested in. And I mean,
yeah,
that's a takeaway already. Like, wait a minute, we don't know, just follow what you really like.
yeah,
And like, would you have imagined when you stop playing soccer that you're gonna be this huge force in the running community and what you've created? Like, who would have imagined that? Like, for that
yeah,
teenager, she wouldn't
yeah.
have imagined that, right?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
I think, and even with the arts, I went through school, and I did a few different things. I did a couple like study abroad semesters. Like, I
Mm.
just, like you said, I just have had the ability to follow my heart, and like follow what I've been most interested in. And not thinking about, like, I'm not thinking about I'm not thinking too far ahead. Like, we can have our big picture goals. Like,
Yeah.
we can think long term, yes. But I'm not thinking about any piece of negativity, or feel like I'm not pre-limiting myself, if
Yeah.
if that sort of
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, I'm
Yeah. Yeah. You're not putting yourself in a box, I guess.
yeah, I'm not putting myself in a box.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's try. I don't know, let's try. And it's, yeah, I wish I could maybe even break it down more simpler than that. And maybe that's why I'm most interested in it, because I've 99% of the time just signed up, sign me up for it. What if, like,
Yeah.
I've just,
Just
like,
do it.
just do it. Yeah. But, and I
Mm.
know for so many people that it takes a lot more than that. And I think that's excuse me, I think that that's what I'm just so interested in. Like,
Yeah.
now where I'm at with what we do with Run Like a Girl, and like, me personally, I'm so interested in like the psychology of
Mm.
just like, put the shoes on. Like, put your shoes on.
Mm.
Like, what's the first tiny piece that we have to do in order to like move forward?
Mm.
We can even use it in like as an analogy, like, you can finish the race. It's just Like, can you take one more step? Yes.
Yes.
Step, step, step. Like, don't think about the next kilometer, think about the next step. So,
I love that.
yeah,
I
and
love
like
that.
you said, I'm a I'm an all-in type. I don't know how to like half do something. um, yeah, so I just have this ability to like make the decision and move myself forward. And
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a long time, right? Like it's not we're not going from putting the shoes on to running 50K. We
Right.
we're just putting the shoes on, and that's the first step forward. And then we have to open the door, and then like there's little
Mm.
things that happen in between.
You know, it's so interesting you say that because, part of my work, I teach mindfulness, meditation, mindfulness based stress reduction. I do one on one work as a psychologist, counseling. And one of the things comes up for folks who, oh, I really need to move more. I need to exercise. And it's really difficult.
Yeah.
One of the strategies is actually exactly what you said is um, the night before. Can you
Mm,
can you put your shoe, prepare your shoe and sock and whatever you're wearing or
yeah,
gym bag and just prepare it so the mind knows, oh, I just gotta put the shoe on and then I just gotta go out and just do just take that step.
that's
Just
right.
what you're saying, just take that step.
Just take that step.
Yeah,
People
yeah, yeah.
people always laugh. I'm the person who wears like running shorts every day of the year, like unless it's like minus 15, then I'll put some pants on. But I'm like, but for real, like I'm always ready to for movement.
Yeah, yeah, ready to go. Yeah.
Always ready to go. I'm always like, I could just put my shoes on. I'm ready to go. I don't have to like get changed. That's just my general attire most
You're
days.
game on. Any minute, let's go.
Yeah, let's do
Totally. Totally. Love that. There's something you remind me when you saying earlier about following your heart. In one of the races, not this one, but one before that I did, um, there was a sign that on the trail that
it.
you've put. And I actually took a picture of that one and I posted it on my social media. I loved it because how did it go? It said, follow your heart and your legs will follow, or listen to your heart and legs will follow, or
It's
something.
run with your heart and your feet will follow.
There you go.
Yeah,
Run with your heart and your feet will follow. Ah, I
yeah,
love that.
yeah. And that. I think that's just it. I mean, it's just I shouldn't say it's as simple as that,
Yeah.
but really it is. And um, I think also, as a bigger sort of picture and idea, I think
Mm,
part of the struggle that people have is actually the connection to their heart. Like if someone's like, I don't know how to start, like there's a piece in there where we do have to be connected to ourselves, and I think that
yeah.
that's what a lot of people might be missing is they have the idea, they have like, oh, I want to, whatever it is, I want to do this thing, I have this goal. We really do have to connect inside in order
Mm,
to even to get started, because we can we can talk about it in like the ultra world as well, but I mean, 90% of those long distances come from here and here.
mm.
Not, it's not necessarily about our legs. We do need them. We do have to train them, but
Right.
so much of it is from our hearts and our minds, and we have to want to keep going in order to keep going, or we have to want to start. So I
Mm,
think that there's a piece that might be missing, or maybe this is the pre-piece to putting the shoes on, is that we have to look inside of ourselves and really make that connection and spend that time, like how badly do I want to do this thing.
mm. Yeah, love that. And how do you what helps you the days you don't feel like it? Because a lot of times people go, it's raining, I'm tired. Like how do you because and this can apply for anything. It doesn't have to be runners, but we're using that as because that's what we're exploring.
Yeah,
But
great
what helps you
question.
those days? You're like, ugh.
Totally. Well, I'm not gonna lie, the I don't have many of those days in the like in terms of like movement world, like going to the gym or running and stuff. Like, but again, it's been so many years for me. Like I started, like I've been running for like 18, like 19 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so it's it's just kind of in me, and like of course there's been like ups and downs, and it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like I'm not super stoked every time. um but yeah, great question. I feel like you have to just push through those days knowing that the consistency, and also maybe I'll say this as well, we have to know, just like looking at life, there's going to be challenges. We have to know that like it's hard, life is hard in general.
Mm,
We have to know that when we're talking about maybe a specific goal, let's just we'll stick with running. Maybe we're training for a 5K. There are going to be bad runs. Like
yeah.
you have to kind of go into the goal knowing that you're going to feel not at your best
Yeah.
every time you put your shoes on. I think as long as we sort of can prep ourselves in the way of knowing that there's going to be bumps and there's going to be giant walls that come up, like we're going to feel not good on every single training
Mm,
run, that when those difficult days do come, it's like not a huge shock to us. Like, okay, I was mentally prepared for this, but you're still able,
right.
maybe that day becomes a walk instead of a run. Like we have to just be okay with adjusting,
Mm,
and we have to set ourselves up to know that like the challenges are going to come. Like the bad days are going to come.
yeah.
Nobody has 100% good days or good runs.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. um but it's again, talking about, well, I think consistency can apply to anything, not just running. It's just the consistency, and um yeah, like I said, just being able to adjust. Um,
Mm,
I feel like I have such a long running journey that I could go back many times, to when it didn't feel good, or when, I had a period of time where like I basically stopped exercising for like a year after my
mhm.
daughter was born. So
Oh,
like
wow.
I
That
have,
must have been a tough change.
yeah, yeah. Um, so I have two kids. My son was born in 2017, and then my
Mhm.
daughter in 2020. So we went into our second pregnancy.
Mm.
We found out that I found out that I was pregnant, and then 2 weeks later, we were in our first COVID lockdown.
Oh, wow.
So it was a very, yeah, it was a very like difficult, like confused, like just, I mean, as we all can relate to what
Yeah.
kind of COVID was like for us. Yeah, it was a very kind of unknown, scary time. So I was able to, keep some fitness through pregnancy, but it was just after she was born. I don't know. Yeah, it was a very difficult time, and I just
Mm.
didn't. And I think what maybe a lot of people can relate to is there's a thing that I call self-sabotage, where we do this thing to ourselves, and I don't know why, but we'll get into a negative space. And I had gotten myself into that negative space because I was comparing this pregnancy to my first pregnancy.
Oh,
My first pregnancy was, textbook, easy peasy. I exercised all throughout. I ran. It was like 2 weeks later, I was back at the gym. Like, not everybody's experience, but this was my first experience. And so I was comparing my second pregnancy experience to my first.
right.
And because she was a slightly more complicated pregnancy, and I remember like counting down, it was like, okay, 2 weeks after she was born, I was like, this was the day I went back to the gym after I had James.
Oh.
And I was unable to go back to the gym at that specific time with my daughter.
Mm, so when you compared it, yeah.
And so I got into this like comparison spiral, and it just like set off the negativity, and it just kept going and it kept going. And it was like, if it's not the same as that first experience, then it's not good enough. Like like I
Uh,
can do, like, it kind of compounded, like, why am I not as good as I was? Like, and also the circumstances of it being COVID, and like, all
yeah,
the
all of it. Yeah,
things.
yeah.
But yeah, it was, so yeah, I've been through that sort of negative self-talk experience before, and I think that a lot of people can get themselves into that cycle, and it's really, really hard to pull ourselves out of. I had
Yeah.
completely like lost sight of me, like yeah, and it went on for about a year before I finally like looked in the I just remember looking in the mirror one day and being like, "Where the heck are you?
Mm.
Like, where are you?" Um, and so I was also worried like silly things like going back to the gym. Oh, all the people in the gym are gonna like I'm gonna go back there and they're gonna notice that my like I'm different. My body's different. I don't look the same. I'm not doing the same things. Like so silly. Like nobody in the gym is
Mm.
like focused on what I'm doing, or they're gonna remember me from a year ago and like I was lifting the heavy weights a year ago and now I'm
That's right. They're not like keeping track. Look, you were there, you were here. They're like, yeah, yeah.
back. Look at we've been waiting for her to come back. Like nobody's doing that. That's me. Like that was on me.
Yeah.
So I just yeah, it just came one day and I was like, I'm just gonna go without judgment, like without self-judgment.
Mm.
That's where it also comes from a lot too, is like judging ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's really tricky to get past that.
Mm.
So
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to quickly thank you for stopping by and watching this content. It truly means the world to me that you're interested in creating positive change. I also want to invite you to join our amazing community. I have free events online about mindfulness, mindfulness based stress reduction, laughter, as well as retreats that you can do from the comfort of your own home. And are you ready for this? Self paced program that you can do about mindfulness and stress reduction. So you can join the newsletter below to stay up to date on all these goodies. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and press that button. It really helps me to keep this content going and reach out to more guests. Thank you so much again, and may you continue enjoying watching this episode. I so appreciate you sharing this because
yeah,
here you are, like a real moment where it was a struggle, athlete, and all of a sudden, like a year after pregnancy, is like no gym, no exercise. Your whole self concept begins to change, and then you had to recognize, wait a minute, and you had to kind of be upset with it in a good way, like I don't want I want to change it, right? I
yeah,
want to change
yeah.
it. And so what else helped you? Because that's really powerful. You could have just stayed in that space,
I could
but
have.
but you
Yeah,
look at yourself in the mirror and said, where have you been? Like,
yeah,
yeah. And what else, just for listeners, maybe they're struggling as well, they're trying to get back into something or to get started in exercise, or
yeah,
they're gonna have doubts, and what are people gonna say, what, like, something helped you, you went through
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just like I went back to the gym. Um, and it wasn't as horrible as I thought it was going to be. Like, I didn't
Right.
have to start with I wasn't lifting the 1 pound weights. Like I could pick up the 10 pounds, like it wasn't, it wasn't as much of a restart as I thought. I mean, it was a restart, but in the big scary way that I had made it out to be.
Yeah.
And just, I think like little by little, I went back to the gym. I started just doing little runs, pushing the stroller. Like, I'm going to go
Mm.
around the block. I had to really dive into, like, not forgetting the past, but not judging myself and comparing my own self to something that I had done in the past. So,
Mm.
previous to having my kids is when I had, all of my huge races, all of the ultras, the multi day state, like all of the big, exciting adventures, of course, like, pre kids, right?
Right.
So coming into that, I was able to keep a bunch of that sort of through my son.
Yeah.
And of course, um, things change when you have, well, things change when you have one kid. They change again when you have two. So
Mhm.
it didn't happen as much through my first pregnancy and when my son was a baby, but through the second time, it just like my whole world had kind of fallen apart. And
Yeah.
included with work too, included with Run Like a Girl, like, everything was shut down. We didn't have any
Yeah,
events.
literally.
Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
just kind of gone.
Wow.
I think the biggest piece there is focusing on what can be and not what was. So
Mm.
again, it's a restart. Um, and it's so hard to do. I even still do it like today a tiny bit sometimes, a tiny bit,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I lived that life of the professional athlete that I wanted to be on my own, like
yeah.
training and running ultras and like sort of living in that world where that was the main focus. But again, it's taken a few years for me to kind of get to this place where it's okay that that's what was, and that it's not, and it's also okay that that's not what is at the moment. Like
Yes.
coming to a place where it's like chapters, and chapters are good things, and it doesn't mean that we are
Mm,
any less, again, comparing to our own selves and to others often, but looking inwards. I've gotten myself now to a place where it's, this is the chapter that I'm in, and
yeah.
um, I can hold on to those things of the past, but I also look at them as it's just part of the journey. And because I did those things, I am who I am today, and I'm capable of the things that I'm capable of today.
Mm,
So I hope, again, I'm glad actually to share that. I don't know if I've really even shared that story
mhm,
before, but um,
mm,
yeah, I hope that people can spend some time with themselves, looking inwards at
mm.
what is now and not comparing themselves to what was, and
Yeah.
instead looking at what was as tools
Right, to learn
for
from them.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, clearly, this is something that has supported you in creating change and success. It's not that there's no challenges. The challenges were there, but you worked with them. Looking at what you just shared, I kind of put the hat in terms of psychology and hat in terms of
Mhm.
mindfulness. It makes so much sense because there's a principle in psychology and in what's called cognitive behavioral therapy. So we look at thoughts and what are we thinking that's affecting how we're feeling, and we have biases and negative patterns of thinking. Everyone does, and no one is immune to it. Every human has patterns of thinking that can lead us feeling down, and one pattern often we do is called compare and despair.
Mm,
Right, so compare and despair, like, "Oh,
yes,
I was this, I should have been this, I could
yes.
have been," it's like,
Oh,
and then bring in that mindfulness, like, "This is how it is.
it
Right
takes
now,
up so much space. Oh, I can't
too
even.
much
Oh,
just right here. Be
yes,
present, like, this is
yes,
how it is. Learn from the past, but be present." I love what you said, and, as you're speaking too, I remembered, I don't know who said it, but recently, I don't know if it was a musician or an athlete, but said something about, "This is the reason the windshield in a car is so much bigger than the rear view mirror."
yes, actually, that's I've heard that as
I
well.
don't know who said it. I love it. I was
Know.
like, yes, let's look at,
Yes,
let's move forward. Be present here and look forward.
yes, yeah. There's a purpose for the rear view mirrors. They're
Yeah,
there for a reason. But that's yeah, I love that one.
keep
That's
your eye forward.
yes, moving forward. Yeah,
Keep
steps
the eye
forward.
forward.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's amazing. Because these are challenges that we all face. Not feel like it, struggles, doubts. Um, everyone faces,
everybody.
running or not running.
Yeah,
You're gonna face those struggles.
waking up every day. I mean, it's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you share more about the, mental health, the benefits of movement, and your involvement in you support a lot of organizations and do donations, and so I'm wondering, can you speak about the, mental health component, the importance of it, and your involvement in it?
Yes. Wow. Well, like I said, I mean, I think I just sort of shared a big piece of um, the mental health aspect, like just something that I had gone through, a few years ago.
Mm,
Um, but for us, so in terms of our events, like each one of the running events that we host does make a donation to a specific nonprofit organization,
right.
and they're all attached, and they all have like a little purpose behind them. So the event that you just did, Be Fearless, we
Mm,
make a donation to the Canadian Mental Health Association's STEPS program, which is a program that helps youth struggling with mental health. They do like outdoor activities and different like community type activities
Mm.
that engage, the youth that are in the program, which
Yeah.
I think is amazing. And we can go back. So this was our ninth Be Fearless year. The first year, we actually gave a donation to the Rick Hansen Foundation.
Mm.
And then we moved to the mental health. And I had shared this story and I can share it quickly, but I had shared this story in the participant email that I sent, I think yesterday. But my connection to the Mental Health Association came from a friend of mine whose name is Brent. And I was actually thinking about this yesterday as I was writing that email. Like, gosh, how did I even get connected with Brent all those years ago? I think it was like 2015 or something that I met
Mm.
him. And I don't even remember how. But Brent and I we used to meet in like coffee shops and get together, and we used to talk about. So Brent also struggled with mental health himself. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia
Mm.
as he was going through college, like in his early 20s. So it was a big, piece of him and his life. And he became a mental health advocate. He started his own organization. He would go and like do speeches and like talk to people. And his thing was, just because I was diagnosed with schizophrenia or like, a mental health um, something specific doesn't mean that uh, my life sort of is limited to that diagnosis.
Right.
So he was a mountain climber, a trail runner, like all the outdoors things, and he was just a huge advocate for movement and the positivity that movement in the outdoors
Mm.
creates for our mental health. So him and I, we used to get together and we used to like talk about that. And I had said to him, I want to make a donation, or I was looking to become connected with some group in that way. And he suggested, like, suggested the steps program, like that was
Yeah.
a direct connection from him. And yeah, so I guess that was just kind of like the little piece that connected me to, specifically to that organization. And I think over the years it just grows. Like every year a group of students come out to the event, and the organizers, and it goes into the whole
Mm.
community piece. And like I get to see, and I hope that other people who attend our events get to see, but I get to see firsthand how, like the domino effect of like community, like the domino effect of positivity, the domino effect of like, I see you, we see you.
Mm.
um yeah, and that's just like the biggest component of community for me. And it happens that way with all the organizations that we donate to, which I can share as well, but specifically like the mental health.
Mhm.
And then of course for me, movement has always been a piece of mental health. And like again,
Yeah.
I shared one struggle that I've been through, but I mean, there's been many. And the piece that I always come back to, even though it can take a long time sometimes to come full circle, but the piece that I always come back to is, when you look inside of myself, it's the movement.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I feel like maybe I'm not able to put the best words to it to explain it, but
Mm.
um, it's been a part of me since I was a little kid. So yeah, it's like by default, I go back to it. And I've had periods in my life where I haven't had it, like I was just
Yeah, yeah,
sharing. But
yeah.
without having movement, running, like any outdoor activity, it really like disconnects me from myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And doing what we can. This is what's so
Yeah.
beautiful about movement. It's like we're exploring, doesn't mean you have to do what you used to do. It's like, what can you do today? Can you take one step? Can you walk for 1 minute? If walking is not possible, can you, move your fingers? Like, what could you do? Like, there's always like,
Right.
what is possible given the current circumstances? And that's very powerful. And, when you're talking about Brent too, I had a light bulb moment as you're speaking. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Brent, we were actually, I did a TEDx talk in 2014. We were on the same day. We shared this, like, I think I came, went after him, where he was, whatever it
Yes,
was.
he
We
did do
were
it.
on the same, yeah, this is when I met him. It was 2014.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing. Wow, what a connection. See, this is the universe just connecting us.
That
That's
is amazing because I just had like boom light bulb moment. Yeah,
yeah,
Brett is amazing. Yeah, and
Brent is amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, and of course, since since passed away, but he was on a mission, right? Like his mission was to climb Mount Everest. Like
mhm,
he was out there showing people that, like, despite your mental health, or not in despite of mental health, but despite of like his diagnosis, but also to inspire people going through mental health, like you can still go and achieve your dreams.
yeah,
And he yeah, I just yeah, and it's a story. Like, I used to actually share that whole story at the start line of Be Fearless, and then, of course, there's so many things to say at the beginning of a race,
yeah.
that I felt like people were kind of getting lost. So, I do share it, typed out and send it to everybody. But um yeah, Brent came and he did our event a few times, and we used to go for trail runs and stuff. So
Mhm.
um yeah, I never forgot his purpose, and it
Yeah,
definitely stays with me. Like, and that's just part of it. Like, you never know who you're going to see or meet today.
right.
It's going to, like, empower you, and not
Yeah,
only empower you for that day, but empower you for like years to come.
yeah, yeah. And I'm just kind of realizing a moment as you're speaking, like he's something happened.
Yeah. So,
I actually didn't know that.
oh yes. So in his pursuit of Everest, because it kind of happened through COVID, so they weren't
Oh,
able to actually go and do Everest. I think they did one year at base camp. And I say they, so Brent and his best friend James,
yeah.
who's an amazing photographer, um, they went and they summited Denali. So they were kind of like they were sort of
Wow.
training, right, like building their way up to Everest. So on September 8th in 2021, Brent passed away. He was on the summit of, I'm gonna say this wrong, but Manaslu, the world's eighth highest peak.
Wow.
So again, it was, he was out and, just building up his endurance, and, in pursuit of Everest. And yeah, he just became sick when he was up on the mountain, and passed
Oh.
away.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
What a beautiful being and
Yeah.
yeah, influenced so many people in a positive way.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He really did. And again, I'm like, that was so many years ago that we first connected. I'm like, he's still, like, with us, part of the
Yeah.
event. Like, that's yeah. So it's, and again, he, inspiration to me as well. Like, he was out doing really challenging things,
Yeah.
and he was just like, you open your arms up to the universe, and, I'm going to go out and challenge myself, and I'm going to sort of face what comes,
Hmm.
um, with positivity, and knowing that what I'm doing is inspiring other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so powerful. Like there's, living outside of whatever limitations we think we have, right? Like limitations, whether it's diagnosis, whatever it might be. It's like we are not that. We are not the diagnosis. Whatever it is, if it's anxiety, if it's depression, schizophrenia, what you name it,
Yeah.
we're a human being who is experiencing something.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I so felt quite felt very different doing your events. Like there's something about what's possible. I don't know. Like it's like, what could we? What if this is possible, capable? And I tell you, even this one that I just did, the Be Fearless one, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna show this again because I love the colors. I want to ask you about the Run Like a Girl, the right here, the name, but. I had a moment like I've never done really trail runs, and okay, this is gonna be in mountains. It's in Squamish,
Yeah.
in British Columbia, and it's like this, I guess, whatever, 800-meter total elevation gain and descent. I don't know, 700 or something. I'm like, that's how I don't know, and then I'm like, well, let's see what happens,
Yeah.
right? And there's like, I guess you helped me take the step, which felt very far from me. I'm like, I'm just gonna do some road running. A lot from the last couple of years, like just during COVID, I got into running, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for a big trail. But I had met you at a previous event, and I was like,
Yeah.
maybe it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. to share this quick story. This is something that was super impactful for me
Yeah.
from many years ago. Not many years ago. Wow, I'm like feel like I'm aging myself. Many years ago.
Yes.
No,
From 1625.
yeah. Um, so I mean, there's been many like again, I feel like I'm part of my purpose is to be the person to just go out and do things. Like
Mhm.
I'm able to just put myself out there, and the things that I learn along the way, I can then either share or like create
Mhm.
somehow to help other people. So in 2014, myself and two friends had signed up for, so we had done 150K event prior to this, which was this,
150K. Hold on one second. Let's just take a moment and breathe
yeah,
that in. 150K. Like, I'm just wrapping my head around like doing 22K. Do you know what I mean?
oh
Like
my gosh.
150K. Okay, carry on. I just had to like, I had like a wrench thrown in my brain.
Oh,
150K. Okay.
hold on, let me correct you. Sorry, I had done like one 50K event
Yes.
prior to what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
So August 2013, completed the Squamish 50K.
Yes.
Um, then the next event that I had signed up for was in February of 2014, and it's called the Coastal Challenge. It's a 7 day, nope, it's 6 day. It's a 6 day stage
Wow.
race. It's like 230 kilometers, and
Oh.
in Costa Rica.
Whew.
So it's not, yeah,
I was digesting when you said
I know.
150. It's 150, but then you
Yes,
blew my mind again.
yeah,
230, even bigger number.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
and again, like you just meet people in the community. At that point, we had met somebody who had done that event previous, and like I don't know, we were just like, "Oh, that sounds cool." Like, no, I had no idea. Such an inexperienced like trail runner and ultra runner at that point. I only had done
Mm,
one. Like, there's so many things that you learn about yourself through ultra running, right?
yeah.
So we signed up to do that event. We prep for it. We go. Um, and so basically it's a stage race, so each day you have a start, and then you finish, and then you camp, they set up tents and things at that
Wow.
finish line, and then you start again from that point, so you're kind of just making your way 230 kilometers
Yeah.
south through the country. um this was like, a couple of things. Day two, I mean, this is extremely hard. We're in like 99% humidity, like all of the
Oh,
things are just extreme.
that is tough.
We come across like one of the aid stations near the end of the second day, and there's a whole group of people who had decided that they were not going to finish that day, which means you can start the next day, but you don't actually like complete the event. You don't get your finisher medal like once you know you have to complete every day, of course. um and my friend who I was running with at that time, like I remember looking at each other because like at that point, like I don't know like to explain it properly, but like we are it's very tempting. Like, oh, I can stop here.
Mm.
Like, oh, I've got 17 more kilometers to go until we reach the finish line. Like I am in pain. This is very uncomfortable. Like this
Wow.
is but we look at each other like, no, let's keep going. Like, we didn't come all this way to quit, to stop. Anyways, this is
Wow.
the morning of day 4. I head over to, it's like, it's still dark out. It's super early in the morning. Everybody's getting ready to go, grabbing, they've got some pancake breakfast out and everything. So I had to go over to the medical tent because I had some crazy blisters that I needed tending
Mm.
to. So I'm sitting there, and the medic comes over. There's another guy sitting in the tent, and I'm just going to like, this is quite a few years ago. I'm like, I was only like, I'm like maybe 25 or something. Like, so I'm
Mhm.
looking at like another adult male who's much
Yeah, yeah.
older than me, probably much more experienced. Like, again, just, looks really strong. And
Mhm.
he's sitting also in the medical tent beside me. And we start chatting, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to start today. Like, I'm ending my event.
Ah.
I was like, why? And he like shows me a blister that he has on his toe. And
Oh,
he's like, "Yeah, I got a blister." And I'm just sitting there like you're gonna end your event because you have a blister on your toe. Like I've got blisters on my feet too right now. That's why I'm here. Like we're just
yeah.
gonna tape
Keep it
things
up.
up and we're just gonna put our shoes on and keep going. Um, that has stuck with me. Like that was like one of those little core memories, little pieces to take. Like people, like not people, but I mean this man in particular, like so easily
Mm,
like done. I don't know, like yeah, it's that has stuck with me and just throughout. I mean, that's like at the beginning, right, of my like running journey and my
right.
even my run like a girl journey. So um I just think, like I said, it's like a lot of it comes from here and not necessarily physical because we put ourselves into really uncomfortable situations and we have to just decide is
Mm,
this discomfort that I'm in right now too much, or is this like do I want this discomfort to end the goal that I had? And I even just think about, I'm like, man, it was very expensive, like all the things, like you spend the money to come here, the time, like, oh, to train and like all those things, and you just like so easily just like, oh, I've got a blister, I can't keep going. Huh,
mm.
interesting. It's very interesting.
What a clear example of what you're pointing at. Like, here's what makes the difference. Like, of course, as you said earlier, you have to train, you have to
Yeah,
prepare. It takes a long time. But you and this guy who was there and that taking care of the blister,
yeah,
had similar issues,
yeah.
but he was done. So
And
what is that difference? Like
what is that?
what
I will throw in this one little piece as well. Throughout that event, you had so like you run the event individually, then you could also sign up through the like in the event as a team. So
yeah.
I was there with two other friends at the time, so we're just like, well, what the heck, let's just put ourselves as a team. Like you still run on your own, but they then would take the like the time of everybody and put it together to create a team. And there's like professional athletes at these types of events, right?
Mm.
Like really good runners.
Yes.
And it was the final night, and they're doing sort of the awards ceremonies and giving everybody their finisher medals and all these things. And they called the three of us up to go up onto the third place team podium,
Mm.
which was like, I mean, we again, myself and the other friend that I had stayed with, like we ran together. We're coming in like, either last or, second last every day. Like we're not professional runners. We are not fast. Like
Mm.
we're getting it done, right?
Yeah.
And then the first two teams, they're like, loaded of like, the professional runners. So of course they're like, oh, let's put
Yeah.
three of us together. Like, of course. So they come first team, second team, and then there's the three of us that go up on stage. And that was another like very pivotal moment and sort of core piece that sticks with me is like we're up here because we didn't give up. All the other teams,
Mm.
like there's probably like 10 teams, they don't they weren't part of the like their times didn't count because at least one person on their team would have like stopped their event at some point in time this whole week, whereas the three of us, nobody, like we didn't stop.
To keep going, remind me in martial arts, they use this a lot. The difference between a black belt and a white belt. A black belt is a white belt that never quit.
That's right.
Right? Is it just to keep going? It's going to be
Yeah.
days, it's going to be tough, and you proved it to yourself in that event because how many kilometers per day on average? Like what was it? So
um
because
yeah.
that's a lot of kilometers per
Yeah.
day.
I
It's
think
like
the longest day was probably about 40. Like, so you're
oh
averaging
my.
between like, 20 and 40, depending
So
on the day, I
every
guess.
day almost half to a full marathon for
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
6 days.
And
Oh,
every day,
wow.
every day you come across the finish line, you're sore, all the things. We were sleeping in tents, and, you know, when you push your body that hard and then you stop moving, your body like it seizes up, right? So we were like
Yeah.
be in the middle of the night and literally be crawling on all fours or like do a bear roll, tuck and roll out of the tent because you have to like go to the bathroom, right? You can't like,
Goodness.
oh, stand up.
Painful.
So painful. You sleep with, you put your you put your clothes bag on top of your tote bin so that you sleep with your feet up, so that so you don't get swollen feet, right? So but then you wake up in the morning and you move slowly and you put your shoes on and you walk yourself over to the start line and it hurts and like you're limping and like everything, but like 15 minutes later there you are, you're just kind of tootling like, and then eventually it goes away and then you're running and you're like, whoa, like how the heck am I running? I was like, I couldn't
Yeah.
even move this morning, right? So all those little pieces,
Mm,
especially at that time in my life, I think in anybody's at any point in time in
yeah.
anybody's life, it will teach you that you can keep going. Like, it's uncomfortable, but you can keep going
Yeah.
if you want to. And that's that part where it's like you have to just have that like inside connection and the mind and heart sort of connection.
Mm,
Like, yeah, I want to keep going.
mm.
Like, I want to finish this thing that we signed up to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, that's just an sort of an early on example for me. And yeah, I've just been like full full force like forward since then, and anything that I've sort of taken on.
But see, it requires taking that step, which then leads to belief, like
Yeah.
believing in oneself, because you've proven to yourself, like even when things get hard, even when things are difficult, and it just doesn't mean you're like destroying your body when you're like, no, it's not like you have a broken foot. You're like, no, I'm gonna run. No, I have a broken foot. I'm gonna stop. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? This
Yes.
is this is not causing harm to that, like destroying the body, but it's just saying, okay, if there's a mental barrier here, this is more mental. Let's keep going. And then when we do that, whether running or whether it's a job project, whether it's a school project or whatever, I mean, gardening project, whatever, we get frustrated with something. Just breathe through it, keep going, one step at a time, one step at a time. And then that builds confidence of belief, like I am the one who can get through things.
Yeah.
Like you build a repertoire of evidence, like, hey, look, I did it.
Yeah.
So I just want to go back to something in terms of "Run Like a Girl" name. What inspired that? Because that's really a powerful name
Yeah.
for the what you've created for events. So can you
Yeah.
speak about what inspired "Run Like a Girl"? The name itself. What does it mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Thank you. Um, so at the time when Run Like a Girl was created, I had two other partners, my friends,
mhm.
and it started as a running group, a small one, and yeah, we used to just meet and go for runs as a group, right?
Yeah,
And then this was back in 2012 when like you know Facebook and social media like slowly started to become a
yeah.
thing. And so we were just getting a lot of like questions and people kind of interested in the things that we were doing, because at that time we started hiking, we started like going to do adventures.
Mm,
So we created a Facebook page, but of course at that time we're like, oh, I guess we need like you have to call it something.
right.
um and we were out for a run one day, and it was said almost as a like a joke, I guess, at the time, but like, oh, run like a girl. Um, but very quickly did it become, no, like we run like a girl. Like,
Mm,
um, and then I mean, and that's still what it stands for today, is like running like a girl is like strong.
right.
And we I mean, I still get it sometimes today, like if I have like my logo on my truck or if
Yeah.
people see the logo sometimes, but quite often it's older men and they like see the logo and they will like come up to me and like do this weird little like around like
Oh yeah, like
oh
prancing or leaning. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like it's funny, and it's like wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. Like over the years it's really just stood for like the strength and the capability and also sort of playing into that stereotype of like, haha, you run like a girl. Like, I'm like, how did it ever turn into that? I mean, over the years, like,
Mm.
people looking at it as like a negative thing, like, oh, you run like a girl, like it's something you laugh at somebody because they run like a girl. It's like, no,
No.
so it yeah, it's all kind of blended into the mission of like inspiring people, empowering people. Like, yes, like grab that, run like a girl, like you run like a girl. It's a good thing.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
kind of turn it to the opposite, or not the opposite, but what it should mean,
Yeah.
what it should show people. Um, and of course, we get it a lot. Like, I'll get not so much anymore. I think over the past couple of years, we just get those emails like, "Can I sign up for your run?" Like, you know, I'm a guy.
I'm a guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yes, like, and it didn't, yeah, it was like over like a year or two, I just started to like, I'd be at like a start line, like people are showing up to an event and just looking around like, whoa, there's like actually so many men here. This is
Yeah.
so cool. And yeah, I think it's evolved very much. Like as you probably saw on the weekend,
Yeah.
like so many men, like, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't get those emails as much anymore. Um, the odd time, like once in a blue moon, maybe.
Mm.
But yeah, I think people have. Well, I hope that people have sort of taken to the name and the phrase, the slogan, the kind of slang of it, and seen the positivity that has the positivity that I've really tried to put into it. Yeah, and I've even added a piece for us is like, and I forgot to say this at your start line on the weekend, but the and just another motto that came to me like probably earlier this year when I was just working on some content stuff, and I was like, all people, all paces. That's just part of our event motto. It's like all people, all
Oh,
paces.
beautiful.
And even today before we started our podcast, I was checking my emails, and I had an email from a lady who is signed up for our event that's in 2 weeks for the 5K. It's her first 5K.
Mm.
Um, and her question was, oh, I run about, it takes me about 45 minutes to do a 5K. Like, is this enough time? Is my pace going to be okay? Like, will the finish line still be there? Like all these things. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you've asked that question, but this is the place for you. Like, you've come to the right place. There's not a time frame. Like, there's no time cut off. Like, if you're looking to do your first event, like all people, all paces. I think it's just kind of encompassing as to like what I believe with events.
Mm.
um but yeah, those questions are common. The like, I think I'm too slow. Is my pace okay to be at this event? um and that's the barrier that I'm trying to break, because
Yeah.
somebody with that question is already second questioning themselves. Like, that
Yeah.
person already has gone through a limit in their mind, and but they've taken the biggest step. Like, they've signed up for the event. Like, they've signed up. And
Huge step, of course.
it's just the biggest step. Like, you've
Yeah.
signed up for it, and then like, you're going to show up. Like, you're here at the start line. I'm not setting a limit for you. Like,
Yeah.
here, once you're here, there's no limit.
Yeah.
So if in your mind your limit is like your pace or how long you think it's going to take you, like, you can just throw that out, because that's not a thing here.
Yeah.
So sorry to make that long,
Yeah,
a long
all
answer, but
people, all paces. So beautiful, really, and run like a girl is an empowerment for all beings, regardless. It's like whatever limitation people try to put or stereotype or something. It's like it's such a positive, welcoming name. It really is. And when I first saw, I was like, I sure hope I can run like a girl. Like I sure hope I can like
yay.
be and make it. I can sure hope. And I think sometimes people too take the timing so seriously. And I love challenging myself. Like it's okay. Could I do this? Could I do this amount of kilometers in this amount of time just for me?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
challenge. But then often, anytime I say to someone like, "Oh, I just finished a half marathon. What was your time?" Like that's like the first
yes,
question people ask. It's
yeah,
not like, "How did you enjoy it? Where was it? Did
right,
you meet any people?
yeah.
What was the experience?" It's like, "What was your time?" Like the most common. So it's like as if that's the only thing that matters. And I mean, it matters to me too, but it's more than the time. Do you know what
It's
I mean?
more than the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, and playing with like event cutoffs again, everything that I've sort of encompassed in the events that I host come from my experiences where like I'm a back of the pack runner. I've come across the finish line, DFL, dead last.
yeah.
Um, but I've also felt like I've come across finish lines being at the back of the pack where like there's no food left, it's all cleaned up.
Yeah,
I don't see a photographer because I'm in the back of the pack. Like I don't get an event photo because it's like
yeah,
all these little things that I've sort of experienced at other events over the years. It's just like that didn't make me feel welcome. That didn't make me
yeah,
feel like my training effort mattered as much as the top five or the top three, the
yeah.
podium. Whereas, and I can even tie this back into like, going back to when I was a kid, like my heart was always in it way more than it showed like in my skills on the field. Like
Mm,
I was never on the highest level soccer team. Um, but I always had and always felt like I had the most effort.
you
Like I
played your heart out.
I always did.
Yeah, yeah,
I would put in the extra training. Like I went to every single practice and game, like, and it was always about that, like being so dedicated. And so when that turned into me, running on my own and doing long distance running and signing up for events, it was like there's so much, which the podium is amazing and like full
sure,
credit,
of
like we
course.
give full credit to the front runners because they're incredible.
Yes,
But I also felt like there's some space to celebrate the people like in the back.
yeah,
And so yeah, that's my purpose and my angle and also and playing with the finish line timing, like, also from it being from the point of like it actually costs a lot to have chip timing at an event.
yeah,
So by not having that, I'm like, okay, well, we can keep our, prices down a little bit, hoping to be not, well, hoping to be a little bit accessible.
yeah.
I know it's like they're still expensive, right? It's an extra thing to sign up
Mhm.
for. Um, but also, gosh, do I want people to just have a look around when they're out there?
Yeah.
Like I remember the first event that we stopped to do. We did do chip timing a couple of times. And the first time at an event that we didn't do it, I had somebody come up to me at the finish line and say, "Wow, that was actually so cool. Like I I chatted with the people at the aid station and like made a friend at the volunteer table.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like just if you just take away that tiny piece of pressure,
Yeah.
it just kind of changes the experience. So you're still
Yeah.
here to do an event if you want to time like
Time yourself. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and time it yourself. We try to keep finish times,
Track. Yeah, yeah,
manually at the finish line.
yeah,
But it's just I was sort of playing with the psyche of that. And does that appeal to more people who are afraid to put their shoes on?
yeah, yeah. Less
I think so.
intimidating. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what the chip timing is, basically it keeps track of your time, and it's put, it's even on the bib that you wear that has your number. Some of them you put it in your shoe, just a very official thing that keeps track of your time. But it's like, this is one of the many reasons I really felt that in your events is really welcoming. The volunteers are amazing. Like they really want to be there. It's just so positive. Like and it's also
Right.
an event that's well organized, and you're like, okay, I'm here. I'm here to run. Like we're also not just playing. Like we're running,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
it's really very well organized. So I just want to, because I can only imagine all the organizational stuff, the logistics that probably 90% of it, whoever is running is not thinking about it, but you're thinking about all the details. All the details. Like there's so much like that really like, talk about facing obstacles. I'm sure you faced a lot of obstacles this last event. I'm sure. I mean, without even knowing, but
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean, and again, I think this kind of goes into everything we've been talking about. Um, are so many opportunities to, and I'm just going to say the word quit. I don't like that word, but like, I'm I'm faced with so many opportunities to quit, like as everybody is in their day to day, or like in the goal that they're working towards. Like we are presented with so many opportunities to stop, and those are the challenges, right? Like they come at us all the time. And yes, in organizing events, there are many things that come our way. And I think probably the most complicated thing that everybody doesn't know about, because they wouldn't, is the effort that goes into permits and like all the complications that
Yeah.
the different landowners, like, you're like, oh, I'm just running on this trail, but guess what? From my end, I'm like, oh, that's like there's 6 different land ownerships that I need to go through to get like
Oh wow.
permission to like have you guys like run through them. But on a day to day, you're just running on a trail, and it's
Yeah.
like you would never know. But like, yeah, there's lots of sort of complications like that, the background. But I think that the attention to like the fine, like little details, which I have a little bit of an obsession over, sometimes too much, and I have to let little things go. But just like, I don't know, the little things, like the things that I put in the aid station bins.
Right.
Um, because again, from my experience, showing up at an aid station, gosh darn it, I really wish that this thing, like I need this thing, or like, you know what I mean? Like all these
Yeah,
little things,
yeah. I
like,
love it. Those of you like you've never done any racing, it's at least your the aid stations that you have. It's like a little paradise. Like there's you got oranges, there was some watermelon, there's electrolytes, there's like there's a
yeah,
selection of things that can nourish middle of a run. So it was just like
yeah.
refill the water. Like people are positive, but volunteers there. So that's really I love those.
Making sure that there's enough stuff at aid stations so that the people in the back of the pack have food.
Yeah.
Because again, my experience is like we, and I say we, like me and my friends who run in the back of the pack, we eventually, all the events that we had signed up for over the years, we eventually just knew to like make sure that our running packs were packed enough for 50K on our own, like not relying on aid stations.
Wow.
Because we had experiences where we just would come through and there's
Nothing
nothing
left.
left. And you're like, well, okay, that shoot, you
Yeah.
know, that's a bummer. We
That
have so much
sucks.
farther to
Yeah, yeah.
run. So
Yeah.
it's just like little things like that. Like I see you from the front to the back. We see you. And you matter, your effort matters. However you squeeze it into your life and all the things you have going on, it matters. You showed up, you signed up. It's just, yeah, from start to finish. That's my goal, and I'm so glad, especially this year, we've added more events, and like I'm just hearing from more and more people. And yeah, and again, like hearing that from you and your experience that you've been having at
Mhm.
the couple events you've come to is like, oh, I just like take a deep breath, because I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, my purpose and my vision, and the things that I hope to share are being received.
Yes. See, this actually now makes total sense to me. Like not
Yeah,
knowing you had all of that intention, but that's the feeling I had. It's like, wow, this is so welcoming. It's so
yeah,
like we all matter. It's so like everything you're describing now makes sense because that was the experience I had. Like
yeah,
you really have created that. You really
yeah.
have created that. Yeah.
Yeah, even a space for, if I throw in the chapter of, from my life
Mm.
where running was pushing a stroller. I have surpassed that chapter now, because we no longer need the stroller, but
Right.
that was my life for years, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
So, but never was there an event that like welcomed strollers or encouraged strollers,
Yeah.
especially being in the trail. So that, I mean, that's where our Grissom Twosome event that you attended
Yeah.
came to life. Like, let's like tell parents, let's encourage parents to have their own goals, but to experience their own goals with their kids, like with their young
Yeah.
kids. So I'm like, bring the strollers. You can take strollers on like road events, I think, like half
Right.
marathons and stuff, yes. um, but as a non-road runner now, for many years, like, where is that space? I
Yeah.
didn't see it. So I'm like, bring on the strollers. Like, let's go, parents. Like, let's share it with our kids, like what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love, by the way, this last event that Be Fearless. There was a kids as well. 1K was it?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was so cool. Like, because I just arrived to the beginning and I'm hearing cheering. I'm like, oh, what's happening?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, there's kids coming through. It was just like, what a like building resilience, building like positivity, belief. Like, wow, so
Yeah.
cool.
It's so cool. So at the August event that you also came to,
Mm,
that was we didn't actually have too many show up to this weekend's event, Be Fearless, but
mm.
our August event, there was about 20 kids, which is the highest number that we've actually had for our fun 1K. And then in 2 weeks at our next event, there's also 20 signed up. Like
That's amazing.
it's so cool. Like it's the best to see the little kids run through. They take it very seriously.
Yeah, yeah, of course. This is
Like they yeah,
this.
they're
Yeah,
there to race. Like,
they're in.
yeah, they're there to race, even though
Yeah, yeah,
in funny and like in adding to that, just talking about our events, there was a period also at the time when we shifted from the chip timing to I also shifted from calling them races to events. Like
yeah.
they're running events versus calling them races. And that was part of the, me sort of trying out and seeing if that helped people be less afraid to sign
Um,
up. Like, is it being called a race a barrier as well? I'm not sure. But anyway, so I'm gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, so
Like,
so much intention, right? Like you're paying attention to
yeah,
a lot of details with your clear intention of what you want to create, and
yeah,
which makes you step back and reflect. Oh, do we do it this way or do we do it? What
yeah,
else is needed? Oh, I was missing this in my races. Oh, I'd like you use your experience to offer people what you didn't get, and you also offering people what you appreciate. Like
yeah,
you created that. Yeah.
yeah. And how like I had a friend of mine actually say this a couple of years ago when I became sort of attached to this other event and we were sort of recreating it. I needed to like redo logistics and sort of, look at the route and sort of redo some things. Um, and I go out and do the course marking. And she said to me, wow, like when you're course marking, it's like you're painting a picture. She's like,
This is when you go and you mark the course for the
yeah,
runners. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So I take the ribbons and all the arrows and
yeah.
everything and I put them up to make sure everybody goes the right way. But when she said that, I thought, like, that was kind of the first time where I actually thought, wow, like I never actually went anywhere with my like art degree, like I didn't become a famous
Mm,
painter or like, but it was the first time when she sort of planted the thought in my mind, like, wow, I did actually, there are skills and things that I learned while creating that
yeah,
I've now combined into like the sport world. Like I've like the two worlds have come together. I was like, wow, actually, like that's like the biggest like I take that to like to heart. Like that was a huge compliment. I really appreciated that. Um, but it plays back to
yeah.
in school, doing art. It's like here's a topic, go create something. It's like
Right.
okay, so then you go and create something, but it like again, it's like wide open for interpretation. Like you can make whatever you want. And then when the project's done, it gets put up in an art gallery and people like the class or people go around and look at it
Yeah, yeah.
and they get to like interpret it before you get to even say anything, before you get to explain your intention, right? It's like the public or people look at it and they get to experience it and like that's kind of like similar to maybe what I'm doing right now. Like I'm creating something, I'm inviting
Right.
people to come and they're experiencing it in their own way. Like do you know what I mean? Does that make
You
any
create.
sense?
It's like art. There's
It's
like the
it's like a
art.
live art project maybe, like
Yes,
like a
yes,
performance art piece.
yes. And then you set it free. That one is finished. Like it
Yeah.
comes, you prepare it, you build it. There's a lot of beautiful metaphors used in various traditions of meditations, and in Tibet they use this. It's like writing ink on water, right?
Mm,
When like you just write it and then it's
yeah,
gone,
and then
right?
it
But the
spreads and
art of expressing your writing on water, that beautiful metaphor. You just be in the process, and the waves take it, gone. And here
Yeah.
you are. It's like you're creating this beautiful, and you it's gonna get created by everyone, by the volunteers, by the space,
Yeah.
by the how you've marked the course, by who shows up, by the weather, by the and it's like it's a vibrant, alive
Yeah.
art. It's a piece of art. It really is. And then
Which
whew,
is
it
community.
won't be repeated. Like that one will
That's right.
never be repeated.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
exact same one. It may be called the same thing
Yeah.
next year, Be Fearless too, but it will be different.
Yeah, it will be different. Yeah.
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 Mm,
Yeah, so it's just yeah, it's all about the community. I think I just
yeah.
like for me to stand back sometimes and just like look at everyone there like wow, you know what I mean? I could take a second sometimes before we
Yeah.
get started at the events and things and I just like look around. It's just oh, it's amazing.
It really is amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You really have created community. You really have. And
Yeah.
this has been so enjoyable. I
Yeah.
know I just have two more questions for you, if it's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
And one of them is for those who are not familiar with running,
Yeah.
or even sometimes runners are not aware of that difference. What is the difference between road running and trail running?
Yeah, that's a great question. So road running, you would typically put your shoes on and head out the door and, a sidewalk or a road with no cars on it, right?
Yeah.
Trail running is so I think within trail run, there's different types of trail running. And I think um, something that you experienced at our previous event is what we call urban trail running.
Hmm.
And so typically when you think of trail running, you think of mountains, technical trails. Well, not
Yes.
necessarily technical trails, but trails within the mountains and like, forests and things, right? Which can be quite intimidating. There's many factors to think about when you're heading out into, a forested, mountainous area, right? There's also urban trail running, which is what you experienced at the Aldergrove Regional Park. So,
Hmm.
um, lucky for us in the Lower Mainland, there's lots of like urban
Right.
paths. Sometimes they're paved, which I would personally avoid. But sometimes they're more of like a wide gravel type path, which
Yeah.
is welcoming to strollers and to all different abilities.
Hmm.
And I find those events to be extremely welcoming, and it can be a bridge between moving from road running to trail running
Yes.
because they're typically maybe it's more of a park type setting or it's forested but not
Yeah. Yeah.
not I was gonna say uncontrollable, but there's different sort of variations, and of course you'll get weather and things, but it's different once you head out into the mountains. There are so many more variables. So if you find if there's a regional park or something a little bit more local, and it's trees and ponds and fields and forests, but in a
Mhm.
slightly more welcoming way, I guess. Um, yeah, I think we could really dive into like some specifics of trail running, but those are like the main differences. I mean, road running is yeah, you're running on the sidewalk.
Right.
Um, urban is there can be some nicer paths, uh, and then trail running is typically like out. I shouldn't say mountains because not everywhere has mountains, right? But
Right.
more
Right.
of a forested,
Yeah.
single track sometimes type trail. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the Be Fearless event. It's like,
Yes. So
yeah.
you've had the experience of both. So you've done like the
Yeah.
urban and then you jumped right in and you're like, I'm gonna go trail.
I'm
And
going trail. And I was like, whoa, this is like legit.
I'm gonna go Squamish trails, which are like of their own kind, very, very
To-
technical. Yes.
Very totally.
Yeah.
Like, when I first thought about trailing, I'm like, oh, like guess I do. I just keep training the same way. And
Yeah.
I was talking to a massage therapist, and she's a runner too, and she's like, "Do you know you have trained differently because
Uh,
trails are different than road?" I was like, "Oh, really? Yeah." Like I didn't even know that when I started,
yeah.
right? And I
Yeah.
remember, doing a trail run. It was like an urban, like you're naming, and I'm like, wow, I'm going so much slower. Like whoa, like it was very humbling. Like I was
Mhm.
pushing as hard, but you don't have the same bounce like when you're running on concrete. Like,
Yes.
so even
Yeah.
if even if that's something, even if it's flat, if they're both flat and one is paved and one is gravel, you're gonna run slower. So that's one of the first adjustment, which was like I was like, there's something wrong with my running. I'm like, why am I going so slow? Well,
Yeah,
I'm not bouncing off concrete,
that's right.
which I kind of enjoy too. So I like both. But
And it was something that I instantly felt like, so I've done 2 road half marathons and a marathon, and that's,
Mm,
like, in the beginning of my running journey.
yeah,
And then I also made that transition to, like, an urban trail, and at that time thinking it was trail running, but not knowing, right, like, what was to come.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but also remembering, like, when moving into trail running, it was it instantly became, wow, I have to let go of pace, like
yeah,
my expectation, and there's the comparison that comes back. I'm
yeah,
comparing myself running on this trail to me running, like, my 150 half marathon.
yeah.
And like it's different. I'm not good right
It's
now.
different.
It's
Yeah,
different. And so I cannot compare myself to, like, something I've done in the past. Like, I'm not these are completely different things. I'm not going to compare them. That was tough for me to
yeah.
not, like, keep that pace. Like, oh, like, where's my pace? Like, I can't, like, I have to walk. This is a hill. I'm, like,
Right,
climbing one.
exactly. That's
Like,
that's
like
so true.
we just need to, like, let go and, like, change that
Yeah,
expectation and just, like, be in that space, right? So again,
totally.
hard transition, but it's part of it. And that's what drew me to the well, one of many things that drew me to the trail community was, like, sure, we might throw out or ask each other if we knew it was a goal, what was your time? But
Sure.
generally speaking, we're not crossing the finish line, like checking our times, because you
Yeah.
can't. Every event is different, so you can't be
Yeah.
like, oh, did I just, like, PR my half?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
like
exactly. It's not mostly, yeah.
it's
Each one
not
is different.
focused on what was my finish time. It's
Yeah.
focused on what was my experience. Who did I meet? Who did I talk to? What did I see? So
Yeah, beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a big shift. It's funny you say that because the first time I thought, people pass me, whoosh,
Yeah.
then I see a hill in front and they're walking up the hill. And in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, they're fitter than me. They've passed me. Why are they walking? And then I realize, oh, you're gonna have to walk some of these uphills. You can't just run everything.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let me learn to
Even
pace
that
myself.
mindset change, it's like just like I had to tell myself, just relax, enjoy this. You know what I mean? Like it's
That's
a
right.
different mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
So I guess that answers the question maybe a little bit more. What's the difference between road and trail? That's one
yeah,
big difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I had a chance to talk to more people in trail running than when I do road running. So
Yeah.
there's spots where it's uphill or steep downhill, and it's like
Yeah.
chatting with people. It's just like,
There was a lady who crossed the finish line. We have a I added this year a Chilliwack marathon. Um, but it's on there's a tiny, tiny bit of road, but it's
yeah,
mostly like urban trail, right? And
yeah.
completely flat. And she crossed the finish line and she said to me, wow, like, it's so amazing to not just be, like, shuffled through, like, a herd of thousands of people, like, to just be seen as a number. And, like, she's like, it was just such a profound experience for her to, like, because she did a lot of road marathons.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. Like, again, we see you. You're not just, like,
yeah,
one of a thousand,
yeah.
like, shuffling out there, here's your banana at the finish line, off you go. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
we're it's all the things and, like, all the community, all the connection, and yeah, anyways, again, one of those people, it's like I have so many of them from all the years, but, like, every so often, like, I get a little person's experience that kind of sticks with me.
Yeah,
And
and this is why you keep doing it, and yeah, and this is why your events are so popular. They do so well. It's like it's really beautiful, positive space for learning, for growing, for challenging ourselves, for meeting people, and leave feeling good. Do you know what I mean? Like leave
yeah,
feeling good. Yeah.
yeah, a little stiff maybe,
So,
but good.
well, talk about feeling good. I really, every time I ever talk to you, I just feel good at the end. I really do. So thank you for who you are, how you've lived your life, and really being this role model. You're really like a shining light of positivity and creating community and like being so real. Like being
Yeah.
so real. So, really want to thank you. And I want to ask you a last thing, which is, the name of the podcast is Pause to Elevate. And what does pause to elevate mean to you?
Oh, I just as soon as you said that, I was like, "Oh, I got an answer already." I think for me, and I hope like for other people, it can be like taking your time in this world that's rush, rush, rush. I think of things like sometimes I'll go out for a run, and before I leave the house, I'll be like, today I'm going to smile and wave hi to everybody that I pass on the trail.
Mm,
And I've had, different times where that results in me stopping and like chatting to somebody for a few minutes. And like, that's okay. It doesn't like, I'm not out here to say like, it's, like opening the door for someone. Like it's these, I know they
yeah.
sound kind of like cheesy, but like it's it's taking the time to recognize the tiny little moments in our
Mm,
days that are either seen as like, we don't focus on them, we don't pay attention, we don't see that person smile at us, or we don't like say hello, or we don't, help somebody for a few minutes. Um,
mm,
I I focus on those a lot. Like I really do take the time to like look into those and see them. Um, so I think, yeah, like I guess to put it in a few words, I mean, it's that. Like if we just take a few minutes to pause, even while we're moving, but like mentally pause,
mm.
um, we can share the positivity with other people, and that will just like that elevates. I mean, that's just that comes from spreading positivity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so many of those moments that like they just they lift me.
Mm,
Just like seeing people at the gym. There's a gentleman who works out at the same gym as I do, and I don't know the story, but
mhm,
he has lost both of his hands, right? So he he comes in and he clips on his
mhm.
he's got these sort of plastic covers and it's got a hook
Yeah.
for and off he goes. And to me, like I'm just like I'm blown
Yeah.
away, like seeing people overcome a limit.
Mm,
Like that's an obvious limit,
yeah. Yeah.
something like that, visually, and then just think about everybody who has, we limit ourselves internally where other people can't see it.
Of course.
So yeah, I think if I could spread that message, I think that's probably what I would conclude on.
Yes.
Not to to keep going, but yeah, those little moments I think are,
Yeah.
are really important in creating change and spreading the positivity just in our own lives, which elevates other people and ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so well said.
yeah,
Because otherwise, momentum of living. If we don't pause, we'll miss out opportunities on being positive or sharing something with someone or seeing a moment. It's like if we can get so caught up in the moment, if we don't pause, even like you said, mentally pause. Even if the body could be moving, but mentally just pause.
yeah. Just
Pause. And
notice those things. Like just yeah. It
yeah,
might take some time, but man, they do bring joy. I think.
they do. Yes, totally. Well, thank you for bringing so much joy to so many people. And I'm wondering, how can people find you? And I'll put that in the show notes. What's the best way for listeners to reach you,
Yeah,
learn about your events and what's coming up?
that's right. So I have a couple of Instagram accounts. So me personally on Instagram is Courtney underscore RLAG. And then you can follow Run Like a Girl has a couple as well, but it's Run Like a Girl underscore CA is our main account. And then we have one for our events, which uh, is it, oh gosh, what is it? Run Like a Girl underscore events, I think.
I'll put all of that in the show
Put it
notes.
in, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Gosh,
Yeah.
I should know. And then, yeah, like just all the things that we do, which goes beyond just events. But on our website, if you just type in runlikeagirl.ca, our website will come up and it's all,
A lot of great
all
things,
there. Yeah,
so much great things.
yeah.
And this has been so enjoyable. I truly, deeply appreciate you and look forward to seeing again in person. Thank you so much for your time. And I want to thank all the listeners for listening and watching. please help us spread the word about positivity. So share this with a friend, a family, a neighbor, a stranger, whoever you wish. But please help us spread this word. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. If you have, thank you so much. May your moments be filled with ease and may you be present in as many of them. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this content, check out what's coming up next right over here. Thank you.